What's up, everybody, and welcome back. So today's the day where I'm going to build the base for my English wheel and hopefully get it put on wheels today. Here's what I got mocked up. I got some Fireball tool adjustable stopping blocks, and everything is set up, clamped down, and ready to go. Now I cut out enough pieces to do two, front and back. And the cool thing about these tables and setting stuff up like this is you can make sure that they are identical. So after I weld this one up, I leave everything in place. I just undo the clamps, the top clamps that's clamping it down, lift those out, set the new pieces in, and if they don't fit, then I know something's wrong. One of my cuts are off. If it fits, then everything's good. So the reason I'm doing front and back with 4 casters this time, my last English wheel, I had a Mittler Brothers English wheel that I had to build a base for, and I built a tripod. So I had 2 in the back and then 1 in the front. And it worked, it held it there, but there was times where I'd be wheeling, and I don't know, sometimes like it would move side to side. Like when I'm wheeling and it gets pressure, it would move side to side, and I don't want that. I want this thing to be stationary and really sturdy and solid to where no movement at all. If there's any, I want it to be so minimal that I can't notice it. Next thing is height. So I like mine, I'm 5'10", so I like my wheels to be about sternum height. The bottom of the upper wheel, I like it to be about sternum height. So that way my hands aren't really low, and if the wheel's really low and my hands are really low, I'm looking way down at the wheel. That's not good for me. And I can have a tendency to drop my hands, right? If it's up high, then I have a tendency to pull my hands down and I'm wheeling up like this and looking up at the panel. That's not good either. Ideally, I want to have my body engaged and just wheeling back and forth like this, and a slight angle. And if I need to squat down and look directly into the wheel, I can do that if it's sternum height. If it's too high, then my shoulders are going to be up like this, and I'm going to get tired, right? I want my shoulders relaxed, body engaged, and my arms about 90 degrees. So that's why I'm going about sternum height. That's about 48 inches to the ground. So I done all my calculations up on SolidWorks and cut these out, and I should be close. We will see, but it is what it is. It'll be close around here. I should be within an inch or two. But if it's too low, I can always put a base plate under my wheel under the plates. I can put a base plate there between the wheel and the plate to raise it up. I can't lower it unless I cut it off and redo it, which is, doable. I have a plasma cutter, so, I can do anything I want, really. But I cut the plates with the plasma table. They bolt right to here. These wheels have bases on them, so I can adjust these, and these bases will come down and hit the ground and lift up off of the wheel, and so it'll have rubber feet on the ground instead of the wheels, so it won't wheel around. And then when you want to raise it back up and move it, you just flip this little lever and raise the wheels up. So those are the same wheels that are on my weld table and my bead roller. They work great. All right, I'm gonna get the welder set up and we're gonna start tacking this together and welding it up. So I have this lifted off the table a 1/2 inch. These base plates are almost 3 inches, 3 inches in, up, 3-inch squares almost. They're just under. So this is going to be just a little bit, about a 1/16 to an, yeah, about a 1/16 off one side. Since I have them lifted a 1/2 inch, because this is 2-inch plate or 2-inch wide square tubing. So if it was exactly 3 inches, 1/2 inch would be dead center, but it's not, so it's no big deal. But they're lifted a 1/2 inch off, and everywhere that I have 1/2 inch shim underneath, these are magnetic shim blocks. They're magnetic shim blocks from Fireball Tool. I got 2 sets of them, and these are all a 1/2 inch off the table, and they're all even. Now I can weld it all up. All right, I have it all welded up on the top that I can get to. Now we're gonna unclamp it, flip it over, and then I'm gonna weld the other sides. All right, it went back in there. As you can see, it was a little tight because the stuff moves, and it moved on me a little bit when I welded these insides. It pulled these arms in, so it's a little bit tight, but it's still within tolerances. So now I'm going to finish welding up these 4 welds up on the top, and then that one will be done. All right, that one's all fully welded up. Once I get it set up, I am going to put a cross brace in here. So maybe I'll take some measurements, cut that out, and get that set, and do that as well. But after this cools down, I can take this out, set the next one in there, and do the same thing. Alrighty, it's cooled down. Now I'm going to take it all out and set the other pipes in, and they'll be identical because I have all my fixtures are remaining in place and they're all set, so everything will be identical. I am going to do the cross brace like I mentioned, but I'm going to do it after I get the other one welded up. I'll put them back in here, and I'll take the measurement, get it cut, and then I'll put them back in here. I have to adjust the miter on the miter saw to make sure I get the cuts correct. So kind of need to have this out so I can do those measurements, so I don't have to cut twice. I can measure twice, cut once. Wonder how level that is. So first off, let's see how level my table is. Table's pretty level. That is close, but not quite. The bubble is just outside, and that could be because my feet warped a little bit. If you look down here, this welded, and when you weld, it shrinks and it pulls, so it pulled these up. So that could be because this thing's moved a little bit. But with those casters that I got, with these casters, I can put this down, and if I really want to, I can level out the English wheel on the ground with these casters. So these are really cool. You can adjust them and move it at different angles to level the things out. That's how this table, I can level out this table with the casters by doing this. So I call that a success. All right, I got the new piece cut and everything went right back into place just as before. So no adjustments required. Everything is identical. It went back in there, clamped down. So now I'm going to weld this one up just like I did the other one, and they should be identical. Yeah, that's what these fixture tables are for. And so you can set up fence blocks, fences, guides, and remove and replace and repeat and get repeatability out of them. So I'm going to get this one all welded up and then pull it out. And then the next thing will be to get while this one's cooling down and all this stuff, I'll start working on getting my cross beam for that one. And then I'll cut 2 of them. So I have one for this one too. And then after that, should be able to bolt it to the wheel. Yeah, could be a good day. So check it out. Because I had one completed, I was able to take my measurements and get my pieces cut out. That one's in there. This is cooled down. It's ready to come out, flip over, and weld the top side. And then I can put the other one back in and weld this cross member up into that one, into the other one. And then those will be done, ready to go onto the wheel. Well, the bases are done. It's ready to be mounted to the wheel. So I took the frame, the English wheel, off the weld table and down onto the floor. And by God, that thing is heavy. So, right now, I'm figuring out what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to just drill and tap and put some 1/2 inch by 13 threaded bolts in there with the hat nuts or hat heads, whatever. Just 2 each. And I think that'll be fine. I'll use grade 8 bolts. So I'll go through this. This is 1/4 inch high tensile steel. So it should be good. If I ever have any issues with it, I can always just weld the bases to the wheel. The reason I want to try the bolts instead at first is in case I ever have to ship it, I can take the bases off and crate it, and it might be easier to move with a forklift. I don't know. I'm just trying to think ahead. Like I might, because I'm not going to be in this garage forever. So moving this in the future, it might be nice to be able to remove the bases, put this on a pallet, lay it flat, and then the bases, the feet can just lay inside of it and go on a single pallet and lay flat, nice and easy. So that's why I'm going to try the bolts first. And then if that doesn't work, or if it moves too much later on in the future, then I'll just weld it all up and call it a day. But so now I got to get these straightened out, figure out where I'm going to put them, and then drill and tap. Alrighty, here it is. Bases are mounted up, casters are on, so it's ready to flip up on its top. I put 2 bolts in each, front and back. Now those are 1/2 inch by 13 bolts, so grade 8, so they're really strong and heavy duty, and this shit ain't going nowhere. So I think we're going to be good. So I'm going to roll it up and we're going to check it out. thing's heavy. Look at that. It rolls so nice. Looking good. I think that's a success. Bases are mounted, wheels are mounted. Now I can adjust the casters when I want to level it out and make it sturdy. When I want to use it. The next thing I need to do is make me a wheel for the bottom. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I designed one in SolidWorks. It kind of looks like a old ship's wheel, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to go with it. Trying to think of something cool, some cool design to put in there, but we'll see. After I get the wheel in, the next thing I need to do is get my set screw and get this thing, make sure that's aligned, and get my set screw so that thing stays perfectly in line with the upper wheel. But yeah, so I'm gonna call that an end on this one. The next one will be finishing this up with the lower wheel and doing my set screw. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notifications button, and I'll catch you on the next one.